here in my area, and it will be from 10 to 12:30 to 9. We've been having it since I came back. In Cape Town, I forgot about load shedding now. Since I came back yesterday, I am living with that reality. And Appington is still very hot at night. So,
yes, ma'am, we may proceed.
thank you very much. Honorable members, welcome to the program meeting. I take it for granted that I'm the one that will be chairing this meeting, Advocate. Am I correct?
Correct, Deputy Chair.
So then we will continue. And I just want us to, just for a moment, observe just a moment to reflect a little bit of silence. A moment is not a minute, and a minute is not a moment. So thank you very much for that. Advocate, can you record the apologies accordingly?
We have the apology of the chairperson, the apology of House Chairperson Ngwenya, and the apology of Chief Whip, unless the Chief Whip has joined now. Those are the apologies that I do have, Deputy Chair. Mr. Mbulana, I'm not sure if there are any other apologies.
Zama?
Yes, yes, Advocate, there is a apology for Honorable Claude. He requested that. Honorable Claude.
Honorable.
I don't hear what.
And the Honorable Claude, Deputy Chair.
Okay. No, I'm sorry.
As well as. As well as Honorable Mukause.
Mukause. Whilst we are speaking about Honorable Mukause and about Honorable Ngwenya, Advocate, I don't know what is the policy or how you handle issues of bereavement and so on of members and so on in the NCOP, but I think Honorable Mukause have not been well for some time now. So I know we can do it from our offices, but on behalf of the NCOP, can we also just wish her well? And also in future, can we discuss how we are going to show members that we feel with them when they have bereavements and so on? I just feel that it seems as if we don't care for one another if there is no policy, because I have never heard about it. So let us just discuss it at some other time. Because there are few members that I've heard of bereavements and nothing have been done, nothing have happened. And it's not my way of doing things. So thank you. The apologies is in front of us. Can we adopt that? Members?
I move adoption, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Bartlett.
Landsman, seconder.
Thank you, Honorable Landsman Eric. The agenda is also in front of us, and that is the usual agenda, and it is now reflected on the screen. There is nothing new with regards to the agenda, so can we get a proposal that we continue with this agenda? Just, honorable members, it's our meeting and all of us will at the end of the day say we've got something else to do. So can we just please propose?
Can I move adoption of the agenda, Chairperson?
Thank you, Honorable Dangor. Can we have a seconder?
I second, Chairperson.
Thank you,
BB.
Honorable Benny. And BB thirded, so that is, thank you, it is well received. The minutes is in front of us. I'm sure we have read the minutes. Is there anything that anyone want to correct? Or is there anything that you want us to discuss besides the points that will be as matters arising? Is your name spelled correctly? Is everything in order? Lutuli's name was already, I can see it's Lituli, it's not Lutuli. And it's important because this is your identity.
Chair, just I think that EZ, not EJ.
EZ in Jadu.
Thank you, Chair.
Is it Zenzile or Zolile?
Zoisile.
Zoisile. Zoe. Thank you. That is the minutes in front of us. I've read through the minutes. I don't know, other members, is there any other thing? I don't think we need to go page by page for corrections and so on. If we've read the minutes, we can immediately identify if there is anything that you want to change that is not correct, and in that fashion.
Move for adoption of the minutes, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Dango. Can we have a seconder?
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Bartlett.
I second, Chairperson.
Honorable Bibi, we'll take your second for that one. And Advocate, can we deal with matters arising?
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. The matters arising. The document that we have distributed indicates that all the activities were concluded. On the 25th of February, we had the ministerial briefing on vaccine rollout strategy and vaccine acquisition plan. Then on the 26th of February, we had Women's Charter review sessions. On the 2nd of March, we had the plenary, which dealt with the consideration of the Electoral Laws Amendment Bill. And on the 2nd and 3rd of March, we had strategic planning for committees. On the 5th of March, we had Women's Charter reviews. Then on the 9th of March, we had a which considered questions for economics cluster 4A. And then on the 10th of March, we had a sitting also which considered, amongst others, the report of the Select Committee on Finance, Fiscal Framework, and revenue proposals, as well as the committee reports that are referred therein. Then on the 11th, we had a sitting, questions to the Deputy President. On the 12th of March, we had Women's Charter review. Then on the 16th and 17th of March, we had questions to clusters, to cluster 4B and C, economic cluster. Thank you very much, Deputy Chair.
Just, Advocate, thank you very much. Just to say that the high-level session with Mpumalanga could not take place because that Friday was the State of the Province address of Mpumalanga. We will have to reschedule it. And I just want Honorable Njadu to take note of the fact that, yes, we did indeed do 99% of everything, but that one, it was out of our control. It didn't take place, so I just wanted to be rescheduled. We will give the date. Thank you very much. Is there anyone that have anything on the specific matter that we have just dealt with, the issue of matters arising? So if none, we are going to continue, and we will now give to Honorable Njadu to table the draft program of the draft program. That one will be for the second term, isn't it? The second quarter.
Yes, Chair.
So can we then?
Thank you very much. Good evening, Honorable Deputy Chair, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, all members. I think, Chair, let me just give the last input just for a footnote for the last, we are finishing the term today, but just to raise that there's a committee, the Select Committee on Land Reform and Environmental, Minerals and Energy. That is a constitutional matter. So that committee will affect the constituency period. So it's not scheduled on the committee schedules. So I will just give, you can see underneath the constituency period, there are the dates in terms of the 30th of May, March, and also that is in terms of the negotiating mandates, final mandates, and then there will be a plenary on the 22nd of April on 10 o'clock, which will be the consideration of the upgrading of the land tenure. So that one is because it's not on the committees in terms of the schedule of the first term. So to raise that for the first term, Chair, and then second term.
Before, just a point of before, I think we must also mention that as a footnote to the first term, put the setting of the JSC, because we have been delegated to that responsibility by the House. So I'm just mentioning it before I forget. Honorable Nyambi has got the dates. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chair. Yes, let me start with the deadlines, Honorable Deputy Chair. So the 28th and the 29th of April will be the deadlines for Cluster 4C. And then on the 31st of May will be the deadlines for the questions for the Deputy President. On the 3rd and the 9th of June will be the deadlines for Cluster 1, Peace and Security. On the 27th of May will be the deadlines for the questions to the President. The President office just confirmed today that the President will be available on the 10th of June. So that is in the program. So that is in terms of the deadlines, Chair. And then the last part of the constituency period for the first term, I forget that, Chair, just to mention it, on the 23rd of March, 2021, and to the 3rd of May will be the constituency period for the first term. Then, Chairperson, we go to the second term. I will also at last, at the end, also mention in terms of the proposed budget votes for the second term. Chairperson, the fourth, when we came back, we can go to the program now. One is yes, can go to the program on for the 4th of May. The 4th of May, we'll be having a budget and financial oversight workshop. Chairperson, the budget and financial workshop is important because this will be a preparation for members for the budget votes. So I'm just making mention of that so that we know the 4th and the 5th is a workshop. On the 6th of May will be caucus at 10 o'clock. And the 14th at 14 hours, the afternoon ministerial briefing transport. On the 7th of May will be a workers' parliament. And then on the 11th of May will be committee of chairpersons. In the morning will be a plenary hybrid. And that will be questions to cluster 4E, economics, small business, development, trade, and industry. 12th of May will be provincial whips. Afternoon will be plenary hybrid. That will be questions to cluster 4F. And that is mineral resource and energy, transport. And then in the afternoon, we'll be having a localization of economic restructuring. That will be gender and youth focus. And then on the 13th of May, we'll be programming, and then we'll have caucus, provincial delegation meeting. Afternoon, we'll have a plenary visual, and also we'll have a debate on the electronic tolling e-tolls for Gauteng. Will be on the 13th of May. Then on the 14th of May, Chairperson, will be Women's Charter launch, and then in the morning, and then also have a PGIR meeting. And then on the 18th of May will be plenary. There we start our debates on the budget debates on the 18th of May. Then on the 19th of May will be localization and economic restructuring, gender and youth, Free State Province. Then in the afternoon, we'll have a plenary high visual, and then a policy debate, budget debate. Then, Chairperson, on the 20th of May will be caucus, and then we'll have in the afternoon a plenary policy budget debate on budget votes. 21st of May will be a Women's Charter high-level session, which will be in the Free State, and then also a Women's Charter high level, which will be in Gauteng province. Then, Chairperson, the 25th of May, we'll have a committee of chairs. We'll have in the morning again a plenary visual, and then in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, we'll have the African Day lecture, which will also be a visual. Then on the 26th of May will be a provincial whip forum, and also we'll have a economic restructuring agenda and youth, which will be Limpopo province. In the afternoon, we'll have a plenary visual, will be a policy debate on budget vote. Then on the 27th of May, we'll be having a program committee, caucus, provincial delegation. At afternoon, we'll have a plenary visual, and we have a policy debate on votes to Parliament. Then, Chairperson, on the 28th of May, will be a Women's Charter high-level session, will be Eastern Cape. And then we will have in the afternoon again a Women's Charter high-level session, which is the Western Cape. And then on the 1st of June, we'll have a plenary visual, which will be the consideration of the Division of Revenue Bill, and then also a debate on a budget vote. Then on the 2nd of June, will be economic restructuring, gender and youth, will be the Northwest Province. In the afternoon, we will have a plenary policy debate on budget votes. Then on 3rd of June, caucus, the afternoon plenary visual, and then we'll also have then a debate on the policy budget vote. And then on the 4th of June will be youth parliament. Then on the 8th of June, Chairperson will be a committee of chairs, plenary visual, which will be visual policy debate on budget vote, which will be in the morning. And then 9 June will be provincial whips forum, economic restructuring, gender and youth for Gauteng province. In the afternoon, we'll have a plenary policy debate on budget vote. And then we'll have on the 10th of June, we'll have a programming committee caucus, provincial delegation, and we'll have a plenary in the afternoon visual, which will be dealing with the questions to the president. That is the 10th of June. Then on the 7th of June, we'll have a plenary the debate on Youth Day. Then, Chairperson, on the 15th of June, will be a plenary questions to the Deputy President. Then on the 16th of June will be Youth Day. On Thursday, 17th June, will be a caucus, plenary hybrid, question cluster 1A, peace and security. Will be police, justice and correctional service, defense and military veterans. 18th of June, plenary hybrid, which will be consideration of the appropriations bill. And then, Chairperson, on the 23rd of June, is a plenary, which will be questions to cluster 1B, peace and security, international relations and cooperation, safety and security, social home affairs. 24th of June, hybrid, we should be doing debate of the report of the ad hoc committee. Then that will be then the last day of the second term, which is the 24th of June. The constituency period for the second term is 25th of June to the 16th of August. Then, Chairperson, there's another document, if we can bring that, fly that document of the proposed budget votes. The proposed budget votes. Okay, can we have that document? While the document is still going to be put on the screen, the Deputy Chair, let me, when the document will indicate, it's a diagram, which will indicate 3 policy votes, which is policy vote 1, policy vote. Can you assist with the screen, please? Policy vote 1, policy vote 2, and policy vote 3. That is what the document is going to speak to. And then the proposal, Deputy Chair, on this document is that the NCOP to debate a total of 24 budget votes. And then the budget votes not to be debated will also be shown on the screen, that 17 votes not to be debated by the NCOP. The only NCOP only to debate 24 votes. Then in the same breath, Deputy Chair, is that in the whippery yesterday, there was points highlighted by the member whippery in terms of the, okay, there is the document. Can we move it up a little bit? Okay. there, I think in terms of the votes, there is in terms of the time, which is 19 minutes, 29 minutes, etc. And 38 minutes. So those are the votes that, but the times will not change, Chair. But there was a proposal in terms of the splitting of the votes. But if we split the votes, I think the members must consider that in terms of the split of the votes, members may input, but splitting the votes will mean that some of our plenaries will be very long, given the number of plenaries that we can have and can still allow committees to do their work. That may be a view. The second view may be some budget votes may be debated on the same day, though separately. So that is a view on that in terms of the splitting of the votes. So, Chairperson, that is the presentation. I must just want to emphasize, Deputy Chair, in terms of this process is how they have unfolded, so that what is presented here is a collective of that came from was presented by the administration, and which was consulted with 9 provinces, which was also consulted with WIPRI and political parties. It's also consulted with SALGA, which means in terms of local government. It is also consulted with the chairs of committees through the chair, Honorable Nyambi, and is also consulted with National Assembly, so that everything that is being presented here to be aligned with all those stakeholders, because we must take in consideration all the stakeholders so that the programming can endorse the program. I just wanted to emphasize that, Deputy Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Njadu. I'm a bit confused, but the program, yes, the program framework is in front of us, but I'm sure you said you have done a broader consultation with regards to the votes that will be debated, which means as the WIPRI you have agreed, and the committee that you usually sit, you have agreed on that. Can I just get that clarity?
Now, it was a matter that came up last night at a WIPRI. I'm giving the view on what was raised last night in terms of the split of the budget votes. Yes. So I think we will be advised here also by advocate in terms of the view that is raised, but it's still open for members to bring the views. So, but that is the ideas in terms of when the votes are being splitted, how it's going to be unfolded.
Can I then take it that this is a proposal that still needs to be finalized?
Yes.
If that is the case, Honorable Abuskafni, your input. I see you've raised your hand.
Good evening, Chair. Thank you very much. Yes, I actually raised my hand on the rest of the program. The proposal on the budget votes, as Honorable Njadu said, was a proposal. One of the requests or the proposal to split some of the budget votes, actually 2 of them, or specifically where there are 3 being debated, came from me. I do hear the view that sometimes we will sit very long, but that is something that I think we need to look at. But I actually raised my hand on the rest of the program, but I can.
Yes. Can I do this? Can we finalize this proposal, because it is apparently something that we will not finalize today? Can I take it like that? So that when we discuss now, we will discuss the issue of the program in general. So this is, we take note of the proposal. I think we can finalize it. The WIPRI can finalize it between and amongst themselves, and we will be informed. So can we get to the program in general, Honorable Abuskafni?
Thank you very much, Chair. And I agree with Honorable Njadu. He also said last night in the WIPS meeting that this program has been consulted with all the provinces and all those people that he mentioned. And we got a discussion, or I raised the following issue. Through you, Chair, I would like Honourable Nyambi to explain to the WIPs how does the program work? How does the programs of the committees fits into the program that we as WIPs are being consulted with? Because it's the second, or not only the second, but it's a second time in a very short period that I receive a program from the committee, including very important bills and things. And then when I look at the program, when we sit in the programming committee, not in the WIPs meeting, there's clashes between the program of the NCOP as institution and the select committee. Now, I really don't understand it. I don't understand that when there's a chair of chairs meeting and there's a WIPs meeting, and I said last night they are working in silos, and Honourable Najadu and everybody said they're not working in silos. If they're not working in silos, I don't understand why those clashes are there. Because as is of the moment, the program, as we're going to have one program in the week that we start. In our committee, we have another program that's been sent to us. And every time these things are happening, the select committee's program is being chopped and changed so much so that we are busy with legislation now already for 2 years. It's not the end of the world with those specific legislation, but there's also legislation that has a constitutional deadline. Yeah, I'm not the chairperson. I'm just trying to sort out and make sense of why do we have these clashes. So I would really like an explanation. Thank you.
Honorable Mativula.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mine is the issue of how the issue of women are being handled, especially in the program. I think, according to me, the program, we must look at the program because I think they are done parallel. For example, the issue of women charter review. In most cases, it clashes with caucuses and then committees. So sometimes you are unable to attend them because it clashes with your committees. I think if we can look at that also, Chair, when we do the program. And then also my other issue, it goes back to the issue of charter review. I think the charter review, it's left in the hands of National Council of Provinces only. I think it must also include the NA, Chair, so that we can be able to elaborate, all of us, in these issues of women. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Labuschagne, Honorable Mativula. Honorable Labuschagne, the issue is of there was specific areas where there was clashes between the overall program and the program of committees. Can I deal with the issue as follows? Honorable Nyambi will be presenting the issues of committees. Can we just see the areas highlighted where the clashes are occurring so that we can understand what is happening specifically with regards to that one? The unfortunate part of the issue of Honorable Mativula, it is now because the Deputy Chairperson's office and the office of the I'm sorry for the muting. This is the mute of unmute and unmute story. Honorable Mativula, firstly, if you have noticed that all the events that is under the sectoral parliaments, that is the program that is from the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Chairperson's office, we have specifically requested to be given the time of Wednesday mornings and Fridays, so that we can avoid the clashes that can possibly occur. I think I have explained in a previous programming meeting that it is my responsibility to program the sectoral work in the NCOP, and it is the responsibility of the Deputy Speaker to program the sectoral work in the National Assembly. I'm not responsible for programs, and Honorable Njadu has been presenting our program in the general meeting where they discuss programs, joint meetings, and I think that is the best that we could have done. So if there were any clashes, I don't think it can be an issue of the NCOP, because we are programming something that is the responsibility of two officers, and both the officers are responsible to make sure that in the separate houses the events are programmed. So that is what we will respond to, because I'm sure you have noticed in the program there is a full program of sectoral engagements and sectoral work, and we expect that it will be programmed in the National Assembly by the Office of the Deputy Speaker. I'm sorry, members, that I take the time now, but I had to explain that now because our office is responsible for sectoral work.
Can I just do an addition, Deputy Chair?
Yes.
Just a small addition.
Yes,
yeah. Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. I think very, very correctly responding to that matter of the sectoral matters. As I've said, in terms of consultation, there is thorough consultation with the National Assembly, specific on that issue also. The Deputy Chair know that I did engage with the Deputy Chair around the matter and how to ensure that this matter is becoming also a matter of the National Assembly. So with the counterpart, Dr. Majeke, we have spoken yesterday around this matter, and then the matter is exactly as the Deputy Chair is responding. As the NCOP, we are tabling what we receive from the Office of the Deputy Chair, and that is also the same that must happen on the National Assembly. Thank you very much, Deputy Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jadu. Yes.
Chairperson, if I may.
Yes, Honorable Dango.
Chairperson, this particular program has been discussed with committees, with chairpersons' committees, with provinces, with SALGA. If we're going to then say that we have to adopt this at a later stage, when is the later stage? My own view is that we actually don't have a later stage. We have to actually look at this program tonight, adopt it, and then carry on. If there's serious challenges, I think we can then come back to the to advocate and to the chairperson of committees and to the chief whip to see where we can amend or change things where it is absolutely desperate. But if we don't adopt this particular program tonight, when do we then adopt it? We are going to go on to constituency period, and then we're always going to come back. My proposal is that we adopt it as is, and if people want to make desperate changes, they can write to the program committee and to the secretary. Thank you.
Honorable Dangor, this is our program framework for the second term. There is no way that it will be adopted later or any other time. But what I am saying, Honorable Nyambi will be reporting on select committee business. And what I am also saying is that Honorable Nyambi, as the House Chair for committees, must look into the areas where there is apparently clashes. Discuss it with the programming whip, and I think deal with it in that fashion. There is no way that this is a framework, and as we are going on, according to our work, there will definitely sometimes be amendments. So if there are any clashes, and it has been raised by Honorable Labskagni at the correct platform, which is the programming meeting, I'm sure she have also raised it at the WIPRI meeting. Now what we are requesting is that if there is apparent clashes, let us leave it now in the hands of the House chairperson of committees Two, with the programming week, make sure that the issue of the clashes are being addressed. That is what we are saying, and that is why I am asking now Honorable Nyambi to report on the select committee business and also on legislation that is before select committees. I don't know whether Honorable Jali,
Powerful, Deputy Chair. Your advice is taken. Powerful.
No, I'm covered, Deputy Chair. I'm fine.
Yeah, so I
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings to you, Chair. Greetings to my colleagues. Let me apologize. We are struggling with the network. There's no electricity since 2 o'clock, but I left the house now. I'm on the road just to connect and be able to present the report of the committee. I wish, Chair, to offer a word of appreciation to the chairperson, to you, Deputy Chair, Chief Whip, and the House Chairperson, and leadership of different political parties and members for the interest and different roles in ensuring a successful planning and review session which took place at the beginning of the month. Equally, I wish to thank our administration for their continued support. I normally don't praise a fish for swimming, but when it starts displaying the maneuvers of a dolphin, rest assured, the Deputy Chairperson, I will always applaud. Coming to the issue of committee applications and progress, we received and processed the following applications during the period under review. The first one is an application to place an advert for public comments on the Correctional Service Amendment Bill. The second one is the application to amend agenda items on several committee programs. The third one is an application for some meeting that will cancel because of unforeseeable reason. The fourth is an application to conduct oversight in Northwest. Then the last one is application by the JSCI to attend a series of meetings in Gauteng. We have also received and processed 11 second-term committee programs with joint committee programs still being coordinated between the two houses as correctly presented by Honorable Njand. I can also indicate, Chair, that on the issue raised and correctly responded to by yourself, that is part of that I'll be covering. I can indicate that indeed, where there are some glitches and clashes, rest assured, when we're having the final program, that thing will be a thing of the past. It will definitely be attended to, because programming is that last meeting where we deal with all issues that might be affecting the National Council of Provinces and committees as an engine of the National Council of Provinces. Coming to committee meetings, we have had no less than 30 committee meetings since our last programming committee meeting on February 25, with the Joint Standing Committee on Defense completing the business of the first term of the NCOP, with their meeting having started at 6 o'clock p.m. We continue to express our delight at the quality of work that is being done in realizing the mandate of the NCOP. Coming to the budget instrument, the following budget instruments are serving before our committees. The 2021 Division of Revenue is before the Select Committee on Appropriation and the committee hopes to finalize it on the 26th and to be considered by the House on the 1st of June 2020. The Select Committee on Appropriation will finalize both the appropriation bill and the second appropriation bill on the 9th of June, with the House considering it on the same on 17 and 18 June 2021, respectively. The issue of intervention, the Select Committee on COCTA is processing a total of 9 notices of intervention in terms of Section 139 and various subsection, extension of intervention and progress reports in various municipalities. This is the same number that we reported in our last meeting, but we are hopeful for progress in the next term, Deputy Chairperson. Again, as reported previously, the Select Committee on Security and Justice is still dealing with 2 international agreements as reported in our past meeting. Coming to petitions and executive undertakings, we are pleased to report that the Select Committee on Petitions and Executive Undertakings has processed all petitions. This is significant in that most petitions are derived from ordinary citizens who get to have their concern processed by their parliament. 11 executive undertakings, of which all are at various stages of completion, are before the committee. Other matters before the committee, there are 2 new entrants into the category, taking to 8 the number of other matters which are vested within 3 committees. All of these matters still have to be allocated finishing dates. Select Committee on Transport, Public Service and Administration, Public Works and Infrastructure. Select Committee on Land, Reform, Environment, Mineral Resources and Energy. Select Committee on COGTA, 4 other businesses. Select Committee on Transport, Public Service, Administration, Public Works and Infrastructure. Subcommittee on Health and Social Services on the appointment of the National Youth Development Agency board members. Coming to the ad hoc committee, the ad hoc committee on notice of intervention in Northwest Provincial Government invoked in terms of Section 100, subsection 1B of the Constitution, has since laid down a program according to which they seek to transact their business. The committee will be completing its oversight visit to that province tomorrow. I can also touch the issue that you have touched, Chair, of the Judiciary Service Committee, where 4 members led by yourself from the National Council of Provinces during constituency period in April, from the 12th to the 23rd, will be attending interviews where they will be selecting judges for all the divisions, including the apex court in the land. And that will be the business of the delegation of the NCOP, where yourself, Honorable Nyambi, Honorable Dodovu, and Honorable Miemang will be participating. So it's part of the business of the NCOP, as correctly indicated by your good self, Deputy Chair. Lastly, let me indicate that, of course, there might be 1 or 2 issues where there are some challenges, and rest assured, honorable members will definitely make it a point that the final product won't reflect those challenges as identified. I so table the report. Thank you, Deputy Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nyambi. Is there any issues that honorable members want to raise with regards to the report in front of us? If none, I want us to continue to give the report on the Parliament's legislative program. Usually it's Mr. Bell. I will give over to him then if there is any issues on legislative program of Parliament.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Chairperson. Just 3 points that I'd like to mention. The first is that the electoral laws bill that was passed in NCOP with proposed amendments is going to be accepted by the National Assembly tomorrow and will then go to the President for assent. The Division of Revenue Bill will come to the NCOP tomorrow after the National Assembly has done the 2nd reading. And lastly, what is not on this list yet is that tomorrow we'll introduce a bill entitled the Railway Safety Bill, basically looking at the regulatory framework regulating railway safety in order to ultimately improve the safety of passengers and freight. Thank you very much.
The report is in front of us. I just see that there is a point C where they say the Auditing Professions Amendment Bill. I think that it should be updated because according to me, it has been dealt with this today in the NCOP. Am I correct? Is it the same? Is it the same thing?
Madam Deputy Chairperson, it's indeed the same one. It has been updated. It's just not before this committee yet. Time has been a bit tight. But tomorrow it will be reflected correctly.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Neil Bell. My grade 2 teacher's surname was Bell. So that is a surname that I know well. So, honorable members, the legislative program is in front of us. Is there any discussion, any issue? If none, I want us to then go to the point where we are going to adopt the framework as presented and also the report as presented. The reports as presented. Can we have a proposal for each of the documents in front of us? Firstly, the framework as presented by Honorable Njadu. Honorable members.
I propose a remove, Chair.
Yes, thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Bartlett. Can I have a seconder?
I'll second it, Chairperson.
Honorable Dango, thank you. The framework has been adopted. Can we then go to the committee report, the report on committees? Yes, Honorable Ndongeni, I take note that you are proposing. Who is seconding? Thank you, Honorable Lilihet Mama Rahane. Thank you very much. Then the legislative program, can we then get someone that proposed and then second?
I move, Chair, Nyambi.
Honorable Nya. There is no way that I want you to move. Can someone else move, please?
I move, Chairperson.
Honorable Lindwe Bibi is moving. Who will be seconding?
It's Malika.
Thank you, Honorable Audrey Malika, for seconding that. Honorable members, I really wanted this to end as soon as possible because I know it went through different processes. I have already said my piece this afternoon. So once again, go well until we see again. Thank you very much. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair.
Thank you, Mama, for job well done, Mama.
At least I can have my supper now.
Thank you, Mama. Well enjoy, Mama.
I hope the electricity is on still, Honorable Tango.